More fighting breaks out in the latest episode of Bleach, and this one, let's just say this was the episode for the furries. The episode 17, Heart of Wolf, you know, you might think that might be figurative in some way, but no, it's really literal. There's a reason why it's called Heart of Wolf. But this one, for the majority of the episode, was a battle between Captain Komamura, the half wolf, half human-like captain, versus Stern Ritter E, Bambi, the Explode. Her attacks, as she gets powered up, she's able, what it looks like she's shooting out bombs at people and make things explode, but come to find out, she fires Reishi at stuff. No matter what her Reishi hits, it will actually turn into a bomb. So all those times that you think, oh man, she's causing explosions around us, oh, you just can't get touched. But it's okay. Captain Komamura is actually pretty quick and fast and is able to save several people here and takes the fight on his own. So their battle, albeit half the episode, was actually pretty good because he went back to his old school bucket, which was actually pretty funny because it's kind of, for all you Bleach fans that know, when you're first introduced to this captain, he basically wears buckets and armor around him. And you didn't realize that he was a dog human person until later. Well, they go back to that. And then yet again, when his bucket gets destroyed, there's a reveal, all right, and let's just say he is a very interesting, albeit good-looking wolf. Once his armor falls, this is what he looks like. And like I said, the furries are eating plenty tonight because he goes from more wolf-human hybrid to more human-wolf hybrid. Now, the story behind that is apparently the fact that his clan was cursed, that when they did something really horrible in the past, and they've been reincarnated, and for their sins, that's why they kind of are more wolf-like. If they were to transform back to their human side, they basically are like killing themselves, because the way that you have to do that is you literally have to rip your own heart out and put it in a bowl. And that's what he did. He straight up, for his convictions and wanting to get revenge for what they did to the squad commander, he straight up ripped out his own heart, put it in a bowl, and thus looks like this. And because he's done that, he's pretty much immortal. He's like an empty shell, if you will. He has no life, so thus when he's fighting Bambi, he does not care. Her, of course, shooting out these bombs don't affect him. For the most part, he literally gives no cares about all these bombs she shoots out. And his Bankai, which I always felt his Bankai was one of the weakest Bankais because it's a big, giant, can't miss armored soldier, if you will, that if you do damage to it, you do damage to him. So of course it's like, well, that sounds like a weak Bankai, but not anymore. Now his Bankai has shed its armor and is nothing more than just spiritual pressure at this point. So her bombs do nothing. Anytime that there's a bomb that blows up on this huge Bankai golem, it just heals back up. So her power is virtually useless at this point in time. So yes, she flies around, tries to blow it up, basically tries to talk to him and be like, how in the world can you do this? Don't you want to live? And he's like, no, this is a battle. I'm throwing my life on the line here. And he pretty much defeats her. Like, he doesn't just defeat her. Like, as his sword is coming down and hitting her, it's like reversing all the bombs that she had. And it's like, she's not only getting slashed, but she's blowing herself up because her own power is hitting her. Yeah, she gets sent flying. Now, the only thing I didn't like about this is after he defeats her, he sets his sights on Yuacha, the, of course, enemy commander, and he wants to get revenge. So he's like, I'm coming for you, and starts strolling down the street to go after him. But I'm sitting there like, what are you doing? Why are you not going and double checking and making sure the person you just defeated is actually dead. Because yes, you hit her and she fell down and hit the ground somewhere. I straight up be like, okay, let's double check and okay, we're good now, and then go off. But the whole like walking away from an explosion type and just like, I'm going after the enemy commander now, and not even double checking to make sure if you've actually finished off so-and-so. Come on now, which is a trope, I get it, but as I was reacting to this, I straight up was like, what are you doing? Like, he's just straight up strolling like, I'm coming to you, I'm coming straight for you. And of course, it's a big old statue, it's a big old golem, so you can see it way out in the distance, but the side effects kicked in after that. And it's such a shame, it's such a shame, because he gave out his heart for revenge and for what they did to the Captain Commander. He is now doomed himself. His human side is gone, and he essentially turns back into a wolf. Now, these turn of events are actually pretty sad, that he basically threw away his human side just to, and kind of sacrificed himself to help everyone else out. So now he's doomed to be a wolf, straight wolf. He can't talk anymore, and he can't, of course, as you can see, hold a sword anymore, so he's nothing more than an animal, a non-combatant, and pretty much needs to be moved off the battlefield. And his lieutenant comes in, saves him. We'll see if we actually see him any further in the future. Now, what's ironic about this is the fact that in the past, his friend, well, he thought it was his friend, Tosin, when he actually betrayed them and joined Aizen's side and they defeated him, Komamura told him how, you know, his lust for revenge is basically what got him in this state right before he died. And yet he was reflecting in this battle how he too went out for revenge, and now he is in this state, and that he should have heeded his own words. And it's kind of like a double-edged sword. He kind of did it to help, and he saved lives by doing it, but yet he is now in this state where he's nothing more than a wolf for the rest of his life. And then, of course, his elder, by having him do that, ate his heart and drank his blood, and by doing that, that makes his elder live longer, which, you know, the whole story of Komamura, I believe, is very sad and heartbreaking, but it's kind of like needed to happen. But regardless, there were still two important factors that did happen in this episode. Now, one being the fact that if you remember this guy, at the end of the last episode, like I stated last week, once their powers came manifesting, like this guy was trapped in ice and he was able to break free from the fact that, of course, his main power, the whole cross thing, came out. And the same happened to BG9. He was able to get revived because of his power releasing as well. But they weren't really at 100%. Even BG9 was saying that he was in recovery mode and he was at like 45%. But for both of them, a shadowy figure came, and all of a sudden, here comes our boy Iryu, which is interesting. It's like, wait, why is Iryu showing up? And all it really showed was just his face appearing next to them, and then that was it. So I doubt Iryu like killed them, but he did something to them. So he either like is capturing them, he's either healing them, I doubt he just like, hey, what's up, dead. I mean, that's not really his style. More than anything, he's probably capturing them and bringing them back to the castle, whether to recover or whether to unlock their powers or do something else to them. But yeah, I doubt Iryu just like, hey guys, oh, you look really weak, dead. We'll see what happens in the future. It doesn't really show anything else. And another cutaway that happened, now if you remember these girls, these were the ones that hung around Bambi. And they found Bambi as she was lying defeated, not dead, mind you, like I said that Captain Komamura should have made sure of. She's not dead, pretty much knocked out, can't move, has smoke coming off of her from her own explosion and such. And they're like, dang, it's pretty sad that you are the first one of 5 of us to be defeated. when I guess supposedly she's supposed to be the strongest of the 5. So they're like, man, feels bad, man. It would be such a shame for you to leave us. And long story short, they pretty much kill her off screen, which you can kind of tell because she's like, no, don't do it, don't do it. And then it cuts away. So you pretty much know that, okay, she's dead now, but she's dead due to her own comrades and not Komamura going and making sure she's dead. So, hey, that's one less Stern Ritter to worry about. This guy, long story short, you thought he was defeated. His little pet James creature that rings the bell somehow revived him. He beat the lieutenants, and now captains are showing up to fight him. Nothing has gone down now. The only other significance that really happened, these 2 beams of light come out of nowhere, and they come down from the heavens. So it's like, wait a minute, what are those beams of light? And what is going on here? Now, of course, your boy is sitting here analyzing, trying to figure out what could that be. So breaking it down, it's coming from the heavens, right? So it's got to be above Serite. Now, Serite, the only really thing that's above it is the area that Squad 0 is in. The only ones that were up in that area is Ichigo, Renji, Rukia, Byakuya, Kuchiki. Seeing as how there's only 2 of them, it's definitely not Ichigo, because Ichigo is still training up there, which she showed him at the end of the episode. And not much is going on with him, he's just training. So it showed Ichigo, so it's not Ichigo. So it's gotta be either Byakuya, Renji, or Rukia. And seeing as how it's in pairs, I would bet that it's probably Renji and Rukia. Because if it showed 3, then of course it would be like, all right, Byakuya. But seeing as how it's 2 of them, it's always Rukia and it's always Renji. They're always hanging out together. They're always around Ichigo. So that's my guess as far as what is happening here. More reinforcements is on the way to kind of help everyone. And it wouldn't surprise me if later Byakuya shows up because of how OP he was previously and how he was close to death, but then they kind of healed him up. And I wouldn't be surprised if when he shows up, there's going to be a grandstand of his powers, because I'm sure he's even stronger now in some way or form. There are a lot of fights happening. Each episode means more and more battles are happening and more things are happening. And yeah, more and more people are just straight up getting murked. And next episode, I believe is the superstar, so it's probably going to go into the battle with the guy with the mask. But tell me what you guys thought about this episode. Definitely leave the comments down below, because Bleach is cooking. All right, it's cooking hard, it's cooking fast, and it's cooking very well. And I'm looking forward to each and every episode as the battles continue. I want more, and I'm looking forward to more coming out. But yes, make sure you guys are subscribed for more, because we definitely will review each and every week as things come out. I hope my assessments are true. I hope these are what I guessed is correct as far as these beams of light. So we'll see next week. Until then, you guys take care, be safe, and Lord willing, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye for now. Make sure to check out the extra content on our Patreon page, and thanks to our current patrons.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.